everyone, it's Carrie and welcome back to my channel. We are camping this May long weekend at the Pigeon Lake Provincial Campground, and so we thought we'd take you on a quick tour of the campsite so that you can see all that the Pigeon Lake Campground has to offer. Have you ever thought about glamping? Well, Pigeon Lake Provincial Park has yurts, so stay to the end of the video where I'll show you what a yurt looks like in this campground. Pigeon Lake Provincial Park is a provincial park located in central Alberta, Canada, within the county of Wetaskiwin. The park is located on the southwestern shore of Pigeon Lake, and it was established on May 26, 1967. Pigeon Lake Provincial Park boasts spacious sites surrounded by mixed forest that are suited to tents and RVs for year-round camping. During the summer, there are many amenities here, including showers, flush toilets, a boat launch, day-use picnic sites, and a playground. Enjoy beach and water activities and hike or bike on the 10-kilometer trail system. If you prefer not to rough it, you can check out the comfort camping sites where you can stay in a fully furnished yurt during the summer months. And this first road that we're going to turn down onto is the road that's going to take us to the public boat launch. And we're going to go check out that. So we're going to speed up this process a little bit because there's a longer road that's going to take us to get there. But when we arrive, I'll give you a quick view of what everything looks like. So you'll see we've got ample parking space available. This is the day use only boat launch. Pets need to be on your leash. There's no fireworks, and liquor, of course, is prohibited in a public park. So let's go get a closer look at the boat launch. There is ample space to get in and out. Look at all that. That's a wide boat launch area, which is impressive. We're going to one way in and one way out, which made sure that traffic flowed well. And we're going to come back around to the parking lot and give you a quick look at that again so you can see all the parking that's available if you want to come and use Pigeon Lake Provincial Campground as your day use boat launch area. Let's speed up the camera again because now we're going to go to the public day use area, and there's a lot of road in between the two spaces, so we might as well just speed it up so we can go a little faster at this. So we're coming into the parking area for the public day use. One thing you might notice right away is that there is a lot of empty parking spots, and which is surprising for the May long weekend. But there was actually an advisory put out, and I don't think you can see this anywhere on the video, but there was an advisory put out that there was non-biting midges present at Pigeon Lake throughout the spring and summer. And their life cycle is for a few days and can result in large swarms. And as this is an intermittent natural phenomena, advance notice of conditions cannot be provided and refunds are not provided for insects. But they were swarming everywhere, and you would walk through and just get them in your face. They were just swarms everywhere. You can't see it, and I don't know why you can't see it on the camera, but because there was a lot on the Friday and Saturday, there were also not a lot of people present at the public day use site because people were avoiding the lake because it was so bad. Now, on Saturday and Sunday, they disappeared, and we were back to normal and enjoyed our campsite. Now, in the background here through the trees, this is the one and only playground that Pigeon Lake has. It's a big, nice playground, but there is only one playground. So if you've got little ones, make sure that you are parked or camped closer so that you can access it. And the ring number A and ring B and F are the two or the three rings that are going to be closest to the playground at Pigeon Lake Campground. Loop F, the cost per site is $56 per night, and that is because these are large unit sizes. Also, the sites have power and sewer and a water hookup, which are the top notch. So the most expensive sites that you can get at Pigeon Lake Campground are on Loop F. Again, $56 per night, power, water, and sewer. We're going to leave the Loop F and head over to Loop B. Now this is a long trek even by vehicle, and so we are going to speed this up super fast so that we can go from site F or Loop F to Loop B in way faster than it's going to take to do it on the video camera. So watch everybody go really fast. You would never drive this fast in a campground, but the joys of using sped up video. Loop B was by far the largest loop in the campground. Now, each of these sites are over 60 feet long and all have 30 amp power. So it was beautiful. It's the one thing nice about this campground that I really like is how big these sites are and the space between them. There's nowhere that you're on top of your neighbors. You've got space and it feels like your own little oasis. So we're going to drive through Loop B and let you take a look at all of these sites and see what they look like. So this is the outside of Loop B. We're going to go through this slowly so you can get a good look at everything. Now on the inside of Loop B, amongst individual campsites, still all of them were over 60 feet long with your 30 amp power. There were 3 group campsites, and that is your spruce, poplar, and alder group campsites. And you'll see them when we come around the corner here. There's a lot more trailers in that location. So just to get a peek of what those group sites look like, and the poplar one is actually wheelchair accessible, which was a nice feature that the campground has. So let's take a look at that. One thing I do need to note about the campground is that the cell coverage was not superb. Now I know when you go camping, you're there to relax and unwind and not have contact, but my father-in-law was there. He owns a small business and he needs to be in contact all the time. And so that was one thing he noted, was that he did not have great cell coverage, and that was frustrating. So just a side note so that you're prepared when you go camping about what to expect. Well, we're almost halfway through the tour of the Pigeon Lake Provincial Campground. Let's go back and continue to see all the different sites that are available. We're only going to do 3 of the rings, so don't worry, you don't have to sit through all of it. But by going through and seeing what we do, you'll have a really good idea of what to expect when you come camping at Pigeon Lake Provincial Campground. We're now going to go over to the group camping sites, which they've called moose, squirrel, jackfish, and deer. So let's speed up the camera and get over there. So here's some information about these group sites. I pulled up Squirrel's information, Squirrel group site, so I'm going to tell you a bit about that one. The cost for that is $260 per night for the first 5 units and $40 for each additional unit. There's no waterfront. You can have a maximum of 40 units based on 50-foot units, including a tow vehicle. It's a group camping area, and each site has its own power. The other nice thing that we noticed is that each site also had its own picnic shelter so that you could eat inside. I mean, these are huge, open, wide areas, and there are maximum 40 units allowed on there with a times 10 powered sites. There's over 10 kilometers worth of trail system in this provincial campground, and you can walk anywhere throughout the camp. It's just wonderful to see all the people out walking and enjoying the beautiful scenery that is in Pigeon Lake Provincial Campground. We're going to speed things up again so we can get to the public showers and the boat launch for the campground. So this is the parking available for the campground boat launch. Definitely not as much as you had in the public day use one, but ample enough. And as you're come around the corner here, you're going to notice that there is a one way in and one way out to help keep the flow of traffic going smoothly. If you pause the video right now, you can see all the midges that were in the air and how thick they were. Standing on the beach by the boat launch, there's your view of the campground. Now I'm going to turn and show you what the campground boat launch looked like. And as we keep on going, I'm going to view past that, and you can see the public day use area. I'm going to zoom in there so you have a better idea of how close each of those two areas are to each other. One thing you notice from the signs is that liquor was allowed in the day use area, but that it was not allowed at the boat launch area. So leaving the boat launch, again you can see the midges in the air there and how thick they are. Now, it might be hard to tell from driving around the campsite thus far as to where the public showers are located, but they are actually situated almost perfectly in the middle of the campground, right between loops B and loops C. And so people didn't seem to mind walking to get there. We camped in Loop C, which made it quite easy to get to, but let's go inside of the women's shower, of course, and let you take a peek on what it looks like on the inside of the showers, because I'm always curious about how good the showers are. And the cleanliness is also extremely important to me as well. Not always something that people want to talk about, but it's always something that's very important at a campground, is the dump station. Now the cost to use it was $5, which is totally reasonable. The great thing about this was that you could also load up with your water as well, and there were 4, 2 on one side and 2 on the other, which when it came time to check out on Monday, even though there was a wait, it seemed to move a lot faster than other sites did. So I definitely appreciate that. And the last loop that we're going to look at is going to be Loop C. Now I didn't go tour D and E. I figured that we had a really good view and representation of each of the campsites by looking at the ones we have. But let's go look at campsite Loop C, where we stayed as a family, to give you a better idea. And this is also where the comfort camping or glamping yurts are located. And I'll give you some more information about that as we get closer to them and to the end of the video. I'm always impressed with the provincial campgrounds, how large their sites are. Now these were all 30 amp sites as well in Loop C, and nice long. One thing to note is that there were not any pull-through sites. So remember that when you're camping, that you are going to have to back up when you are parking your rig. So there were 2 of the yurts in this first loop. And one thing you notice right away is that they've got the lake view right behind them. And still in Loop C, but a little side loop, is where the remaining yurts were, 119 to 124. And one thing I noticed right away is that they all are wheelchair accessible. Coming up to the end of the tour of the campground is where we camped for the weekend, and that was in Loop C, site number 138. And you will see it up here on your left-hand side. Just a quick peek before we came to a stop. The Pigeon Lake Yurts are round, insulated tenting structures mounted on a wooden deck. They're designed to give you the luxury of a sturdy shelter without compromising the experience of sleeping outdoors. There's 8 yurts at Pigeon Lake Provincial Park, and each has a deck, has a ramp that makes strollers, wheelchairs, and other mobility devices easier to manage. The Comfort Camping Loop has a vault toilet, and it's close to a washroom facility that has flush toilets and running water. The yurts stay cool in the summer through cross ventilation and warm in the fall with electric heaters. While pets are not allowed in the yurts or the yurt sites, there are some campsites around the Comfort Camping Loop that can accommodate additional people and pets. There's one large 8-person yurt, there are 6 medium 6-person yurts, and 1 small 4-person yurts. They range in price from $125 a night to $170 a night, and they are available from May 19th to September 7th. Your yurt comes equipped with many added amenities, including a fridge and barbecue with propane provided, electric heater, lights and electrical outlets, pots, pans, cooking implements, kitchen table and chairs, beds, mattress covers provided for all the beds, and your first bag of firewood is also provided. These are weatherproof structures with secured key entry, and we got to peek inside one of the doors. Thanks for joining me on the tour and review of the Pigeon Lake Provincial Campground. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this next video where I show you how to use some of the camping cooking techniques on a Swedish torch or Canadian candle. It's what we used to cook on this entire weekend for every dinner meal. So if you click on this video next, you can watch how you can make your very own Canadian candle to cook on for your next camping experience. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit like and subscribe. I post new videos once a week on Wednesdays, and I'd love to have you as a viewer.